Leviticus chapters 5 and 6. And if a soul sin, and hear the voice of swearing, and he is a witness or has seen or been conscious, if he do not report it, he shall bear his iniquity. That soul which shall touch any unclean thing, or carcass, or that which is unclean being taken of beasts, or the dead bodies of abominable reptiles which are unclean, or carcasses of unclean cattle, or should touch the uncleanness of man of whatever kind, which he may touch and be defiled by, and it should have escaped him, but afterwards he should know, then he shall have transgressed. That unrighteous soul which determines with its lips to do evil or to do good, according to whatsoever a man may determine with an oath, and shall have escaped his notice, and he shall afterwards know it, and so he should sin in some of these things. Then shall he declare his sin in the things wherein he has sinned by that sin, and he shall bring for his transgressions against the Lord, for his sin which he has sinned, a ewe lamb of the flock, or a kid of the goats, for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, for his sin which he has sinned, and his sin shall be forgiven him. And if he cannot afford a sheep, he shall bring for his sin which he has sinned 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the Lord, one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And he shall bring them to the priest, and the priest shall bring the sin offering first, and the priest shall pinch off the head from the neck, and shall not divide the body. And he shall sprinkle the blood of the sin offering on the side of the altar, but the rest of the blood he shall drop at the foot of the altar, for it is a sin offering. And he shall make the second a whole burnt offering, as it is fit, and the priest shall make atonement for his sin which he has sinned, and it shall be forgiven him. And if he cannot afford a pair of turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then shall he bring his gift as his sin, the 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a sin offering. He shall not pour oil upon it, nor shall he put frankincense upon it, because it is a sin offering. And he shall bring it to the priest, and the priest, having taken a handful of it, shall lay the memorial on it of the altar of the whole burnt offerings to the Lord. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him for his sin, which he has sinned in one of these things, and it shall be forgiven him, and that which is left shall be the priest's as an offering of fine flour. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, The soul which shall be really unconscious, and shall sin unwillingly in any of the holy things of the Lord, shall even bring to the Lord for his transgression a ram of the flock without blemish, valued according to the shekels of silver, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for his transgressions wherein he transgressed. And he shall make compensation for that wherein he has sinned in the holy things, and he shall add the 5th part to it, and give it to the priest, and the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of his transgression, and his sin shall be forgiven him. And the soul which shall sin, and do one thing against any of the commandments of the Lord, which it is not right to do, and has not known it, and shall have transgressed, and shall have contracted guilt, he shall bring a ram without blemish from the flock, valued at a price of silver for his transgression, to the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for his trespass of ignorance, wherein he ignorantly trespassed, and he knew it not, and it shall be forgiven him. For he has surely been guilty of transgression before the Lord. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, The soul which shall have sinned, and willfully overlooked the commandments of the Lord, and shall dealt falsely in the affairs of his neighbor in the matter of a deposit, or concerning fellowship, or concerning plunder, or has anything wronged his neighbor, or has found that which was lost, and shall have lied concerning it, and shall have sworn unjustly concerning any one of these things, whatsoever a man may do, so as to sin hereby, it shall come to pass, whensoever he shall have sinned and transgressed, that he shall restore the plunder which he has seized, or redress the injury which he has committed, or restore the deposit which was entrusted to him, or the lost article which he has found of any kind, about which he swore unjustly. He shall even restore it in full. He shall add to it a 5th part besides. He shall restore it to him whose it is in the day in which it happens to be convicted. And he shall bring to the Lord for his trespass a ram of the flock without blemish, of value to the amount of the thing in which he trespassed. And the priest shall make atonement for him before the Lord, and he shall be forgiven for any one of all the things which he did and trespassed in it. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Charge Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of whole burnt offering. This is the whole burnt offering in its burning on the altar of the night until the morning. And the fire of the altar shall burn on it, and it shall not be put out. And the priest shall put on the linen tunic, and he shall put the linen drawers on his body, and shall take away that which has been thoroughly burnt, which the fire shall have consumed, even the whole burnt offering from the altar. He shall put it near the altar. He shall put off his robe, and put on another robe. He shall take forth the offering that has been burnt without the camp into a clean place. And the fire on the altar shall be kept burning on it, and shall not be extinguished. And the priest shall burn on it wood every morning, and shall heap on it the whole burnt offering, and shall lay it on the fat of the peace offering. And the fire shall always burn on the altar, it shall not be extinguished. This is the law of the sacrifice, which the sons of Aaron shall bring near before the Lord, before the altar. Ye shall take from it a handful of fine flour, of the sacrifice with its oil, and with all its frankincense which are upon the sacrifice. Ye shall offer up on the altar a burnt offering as a sweet-smelling savor, a memorial of it to the Lord. And Aaron and his sons shall eat that which is left of it, and it shall be eaten without leaven in a holy place. They shall eat it in the court of the tabernacle of witness. It shall not be baked with leaven. I have given it as a portion to them of the burnt offerings to the Lord. It is most holy as the offering for sin, and as the offering for trespass. Every male of the priest shall eat it. It is a perpetual ordinance throughout your generations of the burnt offerings of the Lord. Whosoever shall touch them shall be hallowed. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, This is the gift of Aaron and of his sons, which they shall offer to the Lord in the day in which thou shalt anoint them. The tenth of an ephah of fine flour for a sacrifice continually, the half of it in the morning, and the half of it in the evening. It shall be made with oil in a frying pan. He shall offer it kneaded and in rolls, an offering of fragments, an offering of a sweet savor unto the Lord. The anointed priest who is in his place, one of his sons, shall offer it. It is a personal statute. It shall be consumed. And every sacrifice of a priest shall be thoroughly burnt, and shall not be eaten. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and to his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where they slay the whole burnt offering, they shall slay the sin offerings before the Lord. They are most holy. The priest that offers it shall eat it. In a holy place it shall be eaten, in the court of the tabernacle of witness. Every one that toucheth the flesh of it shall be holy, and on whosoever garment may any of its blood shall have sprinkled, whosoever shall have it sprinkled shall be washed in the holy place. And the earthen vessel, in whichsoever it shall have been sodden, shall be broken. And if it shall have been sodden in a brazen vessel, he shall scour it and wash it with water. Every male among the priests shall eat it. It is most holy to the Lord. And no offerings for sin of those whose blood there shall be brought into any of the tabernacle of witness to make atonement in it in the holy place. It shall be eaten, and they shall be burned with fire. And this is the law of the ram for the trespass offering. It is most holy. In the place where they slay the whole burnt offering, they shall slay the ram of the trespass offering before the Lord. And he shall pour out the blood at the bottom of the altar round about. And he shall offer all the fat from it, and the loins, and all the fat that covers the innards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the two kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, that which is upon the thighs, and the caul upon the liver with the kidney. He shall take them away. And the priest shall offer them on the altar a burnt offering to the Lord. It is for trespass. Every male of the priest shall eat them. In the holy place they shall eat them. They are most holy. As a sin offering, so also is the trespass offering. There is one law of them. The priest who shall make atonement with it, his it shall be. And as for the priest who offers a man's whole burnt offering, the skin of the whole burnt offering which he offers shall be his. And every sacrifice which shall be prepared in the oven, and every one which shall be prepared on the hearth, or on a frying pan, is the property of the priest that offers it. It shall be his. And every sacrifice made up with the oil, or not made up with the oil, shall belong to the sons of Aaron, an equal portion to each. Psalm 33, 34 in Hebrew, verses 1 through 10. A psalm of David when he changed his countenance before Abimelech, and he let him go as he departed. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall be continually in my mouth. My soul shall boast herself in the Lord. Let the meek hear, and rejoice. Magnify ye the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord diligently, and he hearkened to me, and delivered me from all my sojournings. Draw near to him, and be enlightened, and your faces shall not by any means be ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord hearkened to him, and delivered him out of all his afflictions. The angel of the Lord will encamp round about them that fear him, and will deliver them. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who hopes in him. Fear the Lord, all ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The rich have become poor and hungry, but they that seek the Lord diligently shall not want any good thing. Pause. Proverbs chapter 6, verses 27 through 31. Shall anyone bind fire in his bosom and not burn his garments? Or will anyone walk on the coals of fire and not burn his feet? So is he that goes into a married woman. He shall not be held guiltless, neither anyone that touches her. It is not to be wondered at if one should be taken stealing, for he steals that when he is hungry he may satisfy his soul. But if he should be taken, he shall repay sevenfold, and shall deliver himself by giving all his goods. The Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 22, verses 1 through 22. And Jesus answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to come to the wedding, and they would not come. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, and another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants, and entreated them spitefully, and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies, and destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then saith he to his servants, The wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways, and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he saith unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to his servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of God in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of man. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Jesus perceived their wickedness, and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he saith unto them, Whose is this image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. When they had heard these words, they marveled, and left him, and went their way.